actually at the Aspen Action Forum.
Oh, wow.
They tested everyone the first day. And then the day I got home, I got contacted by 3 different people that I was with that they had COVID.
Wow.
So I canceled like an in-person event last night.
Right.
I'm still feeling fine. I tested this morning. I'm still good. So I'm telling you, that second booster really pays off.
Yeah.
Are you double boosted?
Yes, of course.
All right, good.
Of course.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Stephen Parker Show. And of course, I'm your host, Stephen Parker. Would you do me a favor, like, comment, and share? We're going to be talking about some very important issues in Oakland, California. And I'm going to now introduce my special guest. She really needs no introduction, but she's right here, born and bred in Oakland, California. She went to Skyline High School, go Titans. And then she went on to Loyola Marymount, got her degree there. Served in city council for some years, and now she is the sitting mayor of Oakland, California, none other than Mayor Libby Schaaf. How are you?
I'm great. It's so good to be with you. You've been with me on this whole journey,
The whole journey. And you promised me, I tell this story all the time, that when you got into the seat, you would always allow me to come and talk to you about the things that are going on in the city, and you've kept your word. So thank you for always allowing me to come.
All right, that's how Oakland girls do, right?
Yeah! So let's start with this. There was a shooting just over the weekend. A little boy got shot, and 2 adults got shot at a football game here in Oakland. And you know, it just begs to wonder, you know, what can we do? What can the city do to really help the crime rate go down here in Oakland, California?
Yeah, that one I think it hurt everyone to their core.
Yeah.
It's not just that we're talking about a child. We're talking about the Dynamites football team.
Yes.
A league that has been so beloved and so positive for so many youth for generations.
Yes.
And they suffered another tragedy not that long ago of a parent who was shot in front of children.
Yes, I remember that.
So this is that same extended family. I will say that today we announced some good news, which is a $6 million grant from the state of California. That is way bigger than anything we've seen from the state before, specifically for violence prevention. And Oakland has gotten national attention for cutting gun violence in half. Like, I know that statistic does not give comfort to anyone who has suffered the harm or trauma.
Right.
But it shows that we will lean into what we know works, and we're adding 3 new strategies that we haven't done before, and that's what we announced today. First, intensive cognitive behavioral therapy, and that is literally working with an individual to rewire their brain to how they react to conflict. So many people respond to personal conflict, and let's be honest, many instances of gun violence are the result of a personal conflict. It's not random. But to rewire to make sure that the response to conflict is not violence. The second new strategy is really working intensely with the whole family dynamics, and we're also increasing our street outreach workers, our life coaches. These are people that have been on a journey of redemption, that are just the trusted messengers to work with these families. And then the third kind of ring, because we are very holistic in how we look at this really infection that is violence, is to look at the community level. And that is not only with this increased presence of violence interrupters out in the community, things like the Town Nights program that everyone enjoyed this summer, but also physical improvements, increased lighting, changing sidewalks, doing things that create a physical presence of safety and security and well-being through the physical environment in communities that have been most impacted by gun violence. So those are 3 new strategies that are going to be funded by a $6 million grant that we announced this morning.
Wow, that's great. But how do we get those people who really need that, the rewiring, the ones who are out there doing the gun violence, how do we get them to be involved with these programs? I mean, because they seem like they wouldn't even be interested in that.
Well, we have used two means to do it in the past. One is through our network of these violence interrupters who often have come out of these types of negative relationships but have found positive relationships. So they often know family members, friends. They can actually connect to people through relationships. We also use the power of the courts. When people are under probation, we can actually compel them to come what's called a call-in. And a call-in is where like all the police brass walk in and say, we know that you or people you are closely associated with have been engaging in gun violence, and we want you to stop. We do not want you to go to jail. We do not want you to be injured or die. But know that you are on our radar screen, and if you don't heed our message, if you don't take advantage of the services that we are about to offer you, you will be subject to focused enforcement. Then the police walk out of the room and service providers come in and say, hey, we're not with them. We are here to support you in any way to get your life on a positive track. And that is done through our partnership with probation. And finally, you know, if you out in the public want to be part of creating a sense of safety, of saying that like, we don't want gun violence in our community, please consider joining a ceasefire walk. The walks have come back. They're every Friday night. You can go to Faith in Action East Bay, go to their website. It shows you where you can go to join a ceasefire walk. I try and join them. It just feels great to be out in the community, smiling at people, holding up signs that say, you know, put down the guns, we want peace. People honk at you, throw peace signs as they drive by. And it's just a show that we are one community. A harm to anyone is a harm to all of us.
Right. Give them that website again, Madam Mayor.
Faith in Action East Bay. Google it. You can Google Ceasefire Walks Oakland, but Faith in Action East Bay is the website where you will find the locations and the schedule.
Faith in Action East Bay. You guys go and sign up on that website. The next thing I want to ask you about, this Oakland A's ballpark is a hot topic. It is, there's so many people who have different ideas and opinions about it. And of course, I'm a longshoreman for over 20 years. Shout out to ILWU, and they have a strong position on this. Some of them think that it's going to cause congestion down on the waterfront, that it's going to impede the ships getting in and out of the port on time. It's going to be unaffordable housing for the people in West Oakland. So many different ideas about this. What do you say that says that this would be good for this city and for the workers down on the waterfront?
Oh, Stephen, I think this is literally one of the best things that could ever happen to Oakland. This would be a new neighborhood with 35,000 construction jobs during the construction of the project, union jobs, and I think it's about 7,400 permanent jobs, many of which will be union. The hotel will be fully unionized, a new performing arts center for IATSE workers, like heavily unionized jobs, good jobs, you know, family supporting wages. It will also have more than 18 acres of new waterfront public parks. And Stephen, we can look at that aerial shot of Oakland. I'm sorry, it's right behind the camera, but it shows you how Howard Terminal is actually all by itself right next to Jack London Square. It's not even attached to where the Port of Oakland currently operates. And so this idea that somehow it's gonna impede the port operations, when you look at the geography, you can see that is not a well-founded fear. And I respect people are afraid of change, and this is a huge project. So I want to respect that, and I want to assure the longshoremen and just the people of Oakland, we are being extremely diligent about making sure that this will enhance environmental protections, enhance jobs, and enhance affordable housing. Right now, the way it's structured, this project is going to generate the funding to create more than 1,000 new units of affordable housing, both on the site, but also in the surrounding neighborhood to be sure that the project does not cause displacement or gentrification.
Where does the project stand now? What is the project?
Well, we're still working to get this in front of the City Council for a final approval vote at the end of this year. The latest news today is no surprise, but your brethren at ILWU, as well as Schnitzer Steel, Pacific Merchants, they have sued BCDC, which is the regulatory body that, after an extremely comprehensive process, determined that Howard Terminal is not needed now nor in the future for port-related uses. So that lawsuit just got filed today, not a surprise at all. And just, you know, it's part of the process.
Yes.
People love to use and abuse our legal system. And I respect opposition, but they are trying everything they can to delay and add expense to the process. But I assure you, all that due diligence is being done to ensure this is not going to harm our amazing economic engine that is the Port of Oakland. Can I throw in one more thing?
Sure. This
project is going to require a lot of safety improvements that we need, ballpark or no ballpark, to improve the safety of the trains running through Oakland and the trucks that are taking the boxes from the port. We already have a situation where we could use more safety, more separation of those modes, improve the equity in the ability for people to have access to the waterfront. And what I have found is this project excites people so much that we are winning grants from the state and federal government to do safety work that needs to be done right now, ballpark or no ballpark, but people want to help make this project succeed. So it really is going to help improve the safety for our existing port operations.
Yeah, but I must say that there are so many people who don't feel that way. They're not excited about this ballpark, and they really believe that it's going to do much damage to the West Oakland, not only community, but to the port. So what do you say to someone who's just totally against it? You know, how can